Yo, the internet's been wilding, by the way, lately too, y'all. You know what I'm saying? The internet's been wilding. They've been out here talking about who's more battle tested between Drake and Eminem. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit got me bugged out right now, y'all. Like I'm asking y'all right now, like who's more battle tested, Drake or Eminem? And I don't think it's about who's more battle tested. I think if they would have rephrased it on who had the better opponents, if it's who had the better opponents, I'm gonna go Drake. You know what I'm saying? Because this reason right here. I feel like a lot of rappers in the game don't really respect Drake. So they're gonna try Drake. They're gonna test Drake. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get at him. They don't respect his pen. And then obviously they know he got a team of ghostwriters and shit. So I don't think it's about who had the tougher opponents. I think it's just about who had the better ones. You know, what was the better matchups? Because on Eminem's side, a lot of MCs wasn't trying to fuck with the guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to blame Eminem for not having opponents, like let's say like Nick Cannon, ICP, you know what I'm saying, all those people and shit like that, Bezinos and Nick Cannons and everything. That's because they openly went at him. If we wanted to see that, why didn't any of the other MCs try him? Why didn't any of the other ghosts try him? Why do they respect him so much? Why do they know where he can go with things? I always ask that when we act like Eminem doesn't have like worthy opponents, which you can't choose who goes out in front of him. You can't choose that. It's not his fault. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's not Drake's fault that he's not a real rapper either. You know what I'm saying? So people are gonna try him more, and at the end of the day, his best opponents was Common, Pusha T, and Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Those was by far his best opponents. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I don't think who's more battle tested should be the answer. You know what I'm saying? I think it really should be because I think on the whole totality, Eminem's more battle tested. He's more battle tested because given the fact that he was like the skin color alone, if he was losing to any of those whack ass dudes, he would have got the fuck up out of here. Drake could lose and still move on. You know what I'm saying? And technically, Drake ain't really win against anybody except for Meek Mill, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think it goes more or less who had the better opponents. The better matchups was definitely for Drake. But who was more battle tested? I gotta go M because M was going against dudes that just kept coming at me like dude had to bury himself, dig himself out of a fucking hole with that magazine shit. Like he was battling fucking magazines and shit too. Like, there was a whole bunch of other things going on. And I also go back to the fact that like nobody challenged homie. Nobody wanted to go challenge Eminem. So I'm not gonna, and it's not like, Drake was out here just going at people either. You know what I'm saying? So if we're gonna act like Drake was just out here headhunting and then he was just taking dudes' heads off, which he wasn't, he only beat Meek Mill, then I don't really think that question's really relevant, all things considered, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not fair as well. And I know a lot of people be like, he's not that nice because only certain people he's battled with, but those people came at him first. Those people literally came at him first. And I say this again. Why didn't other MCs throughout the way go at him, bro? Why did everybody, instead of going at him, why they just want to feature with him then? You know what I'm saying? Why not battle him? Why do that? But they want to do features though? Because that's the only way you're gonna be like, all right, I can survive this like I might out rap Eminem thing is when you just do a feature because nobody signed up for battle. Ask these other MCs why they never signed up to battle Eminem before we start asking these questions, y'all. This is the moments where I'd be like an Eminem stand for real. I'd be like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? What do you mean who's more battle tested? You know what I'm saying? It goes back to who has better opponents, who has tougher opponents. Drake did have tougher opponents. He did. But he's just not more battle tested, dog. He ain't more battle tested than Shady, bro. I mean, who said Drake wasn't black? But Will, I'm just trying to say, dog, like you naming the exact people, that's fine. All those people that you're naming, bet. But why is nobody doing anything? I mean, all right, for example, then, to your point, right? Mr. With my nuts on your tonsils while you're on stage rapping at your whack ass concerts. And in case you didn't know what I was talking about, Snoop Dogg, when he said, I don't give a fuck about no Eminem, blah, 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 blah. And then Eminem made his little subliminal diss track at him, you know what I'm saying? I thought he was dog and God, whatever, the Zeus shit. You know what I'm saying? He came at him as Zeus, and then what happened after? They hopped on a track for a feature together. Y'all ain't about to get away with this whole like y'all naming out these whack ass opponents because those are whack opponents outside of Ja Rule and Benzino and like MGK even. You know what I'm saying? Like and Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying? He did his thing on Despicable and shit. You know what I'm saying? But once again, you can't help who's not gonna want to step up to the plate. Now, people stepped up to the plate and actually like dissed them and shit, And then Eminem was ducking, and don't bring up Black Slim Shady, Dada. Don't bring up Black Slim Shady, but because he responded to that, you know what I'm saying? But if we talking about why, then and then on top of that, if he responded to that, why didn't now game Mr. 300 bars? Mr. 300 bars, I want to rap and battle everybody. Why didn't he catch wind of that and be like, fucking, I'm gonna go all in? Because he had no problem doing that with Meek Mill. You know what I'm saying? Only time people want to battle is when they know they bullying. Battle rapping on wax comes to bullying. You know what I'm saying? You do that based off who you think you can bully. Let's just keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? You do that based off who you know you can bully. And everybody knows and thinks that, well, knows they can bully Drake. They know this. They know this. They can't bully Eminem. The people that try, and then that's the thing. The people that tried to bully Eminem, they got Eminem got them the fuck up out of here. So once you watch that, why would any MC after that would want to do that? And then let's just keep it 1,000. Let's keep it 1,000 if we want to play these games. We can go. Jay-Z and Eminem had their little subliminal back and forth between Blueprint 3 and Recovery. And you're gonna tell me that if we was gonna say that these was diss tracks, that those was better? Because Seduction destroyed Jay-Z, if you ask me. I think he was all on Jay-Z's ass, pause, when he was rapping on Seduction. If you go back and listen to that, and then you listen to songs like Reminder and Every Day is a Star is Born, a Star is Born from Jay-Z on Blueprint 3, those are subliminal diss tracks towards a lot of people, but you mentioned Eminem. You know what I'm saying? So M said, all right, we're gonna have a friendly sprawl. Because that's what it was. Who else was Eminem talking about on Seduction? All. All. Reminder, all. Chris, why you took my dame? All. You know what I'm saying? What we talking about? You know what I'm saying? If we want to really get technical, M already got the great guy already the fuck up out of here, too. You know what I'm saying? Eminem got Jay-Z the fuck up out of here and nobody even remembers. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying, dog. Like we can act like, and y'all forgot Jermaine Dupri too. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to keep naming these whack opponents, but like it goes back to Eminem has more battle opponents too. So I think with battle tested, it goes to the amount of battles you actually been in as well too, not just the three or four. Like once again, I agree. Drake has had the better opponents, but that's because the better opponents don't respect Drake. So why didn't Pusha go at M? You know what I'm saying? Why Kanye ain't go at M? You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of opportunities for people to go at M, and they chose not to. So I just want to know, how is that M's fault as an MC that's chilling and respects the game, loves the culture, be chilling. He don't come at nobody. Yeah, he come at the pop stars and shit because I know people use that. But at the end of the day, people got to come at him. He's not just headhunting for people because he likes making jokey raps and dissing people too. You know what I'm saying? But like, we talking about MCs that got to do the same thing. Why aren't these other great MCs doing it? Because they do it with each other, but they leave him alone. So I just want to understand that. You know what I'm saying? Help me understand these type of things. But at the end of the day, Drake is not more battle tested than M. That's all. That's all I got. People call him white boy and say he's not black enough, and I don't know why other MCs don't attack him. Because they're scared, bro. Because they know what's gonna happen. Like, other MCs always have no problem attacking other MCs at all times. We've seen this throughout the 50 years of hip hop, but nobody's bothering that guy. Why? Because they know that they would get their ass handed to them. I don't understand why that's hard to like understand. Why that concept is hard to understand. There's a reason why other MCs don't. They might not be like, yeah, I'm scared of Eminem. You know what I'm saying? It won't be that. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's gonna openly say that, but they say it in their own ways by hopping on features or being like, nobody messes with the white boy because that motherfucker is too nice. Like, real rappers gonna know. A real lyricist and rappers will know, bro. So I love when people ask that, you know what I'm saying, or people wonder why. It's because there's only one answer, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like for example, like when fucking Stevie Knight calls out fucking Screw to a boxing fade, and he does a 360 and says, we can squabble, but I don't do the boxing thing, like as if he's Floyd. Just the same shit. It's the same shit. You seen Snoop was going hard on it for a while. Now, granted, that's a different situation, but M got at him with a nice little subby. Then what happened? They clicked up on that fucking LBC to the D. I don't know, man. I don't know. We can argue about it. I got a little reel coming out about it now. Cause I seen that, I was like, I gotta save this for later. I gotta save this for later. I'm like, niggas is tripping. I'm like, niggas is tripping out here, B. Niggas don't like the West Coast. It's fine with it. I'll push the line with it. Um, and M only responded with one line saying the reason why they play shit in the club. Yeah. Nah, Will, I feel you, dog. Like, but it goes back to How come Game, you know what I'm saying? Game could have responded back because Game got no problem responding back to everything else. Just remember that. You know what I'm saying? As much as people wanted, like Game was, I'll give Game credit for being one of the only person or only people that was like entertaining it. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't really want that smoke, bro. Nobody really wants that smoke with him. That's why it's funny how we had this conversation. Like nobody really wants that smoke with Eminem, B. Not a single MC. Until you name me an MC that wants to smoke, let me know. Cause it's a fine respect too. You know what I'm saying? It's a fine respect, and you don't want your shit to end. You want to keep your rap career intact. Look at Snoop's the prime example. I'll say Snoop Dogg is the prime example, B. And Snoop Dogg tried it. Snoop and Game tried it. So that says a lot right there. You feel me? That says a whole lot right there. What about Nas? What about him? Did he did diss M. He just hopped on I think two tracks with M. It was that EPMD 2 and then there was that unreleased joint. I think it was called like I don't think it was called Compton, but it was like he started it was like my motto is live by the bottle. What is my supply low? Something like that. And then like, Nas's verse was like I forgot what Nas's verse was, but it was topless, topless. Sorry, there we go, topless. It was like an unreleased song. But Nas ain't try either. Once again, who's tried Eminem? Like, if we can name your top 20 MCs, why have they not tried them? They tried all the top MCs, all tried each other, but Eminem. You know what I'm saying? That's the real boogeyman. Yeah, Eminem's the real boogeyman, dog. Like, that's the real one. Like, I know people be like, we don't want to, and Kendrick's another one, but people try, but no, 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 no. Like, actually, let me take that back. People have actually tested Eminem. I mean, Kendrick. We forget when he did the control verse. A lot of people tested him, and the excuse was he wasn't talking to them. He was talking about his class, which I thought was lame because I don't believe in that class shit like that when it comes to this rap thing. I think any and everybody can get it. I mean, Eminem. I mean, sorry, LL Cool J and Cannabis, and that's another person you can add on Eminem's list as well too. And don't sleep on Cannabis. Let's not disrespect Cannabis now. And Cannabis is probably on the level of like a Pusha T and and Kendrick type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially at that time. So let's not act like that wasn't a thing. I mean, Stan, what we know now was about Stanibus. I'm about to say, but Stan was for Cannabis. That says a lot alone. Then the disses that he had towards Cannabis, that was probably Eminem's best opponent was Cannabis, which, in all honesty, that's not, no, no. Let's take that all the way back then. Yeah. So with Eminem's best opponent being Cannabis and what he did to Cannabis, and considering what we know about Cannabis back then and who he was, there was a reason why niggas ain't fuck with him after that. Because he did what he did to Cannabis. Smack bam boom. Don't at me no more. Don't at me no more about this who's more battle tested shit. You know what I'm saying? Because this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit, man. This is some straight up bullshit. I'm like, we acting like Eminem gonna wake up and pick and choose it. Like y'all act like the way people treat Eminem as if Eminem just woke up and was like, yeah, I'm a diss. Well, he did, but y'all act like he's supposed to just wake up and be like, yeah, I want to diss these MCs and shit. Like that's not how it works sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's not how it works for Eminem. Eminem's like, yo, if you come at me, I got you. But I'm chilling. I'm here to rap and have fun. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the best strategy in the art of war. Like, don't go out there looking for battles and looking for beef. You know what I'm saying? Let people come to you and then you handle your opponents accordingly. That is not Eminem's fault. Eminem got way more battles on his resume than Drake, and that's really what it is for me. It's about that resume. The resume is longer. The battle facts is longer. You know what I'm saying? M's battle facts is longer, but Drake does have very good opponents, but that's because people want to try him. There's levels to this shit, bro. There's levels to this shit. No, and then the only way that they're gonna test to see if they can fuck with Eminem is when they hop on features. That's the only way they're gonna do it because they know it doesn't get friendly if it's not features. At least features you can be like, all right, I had the better verse, or I rapped a little better. And even then, Eminem does not let you get off. Eminem does not let you get off on those. So it's like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Like, I know y'all want to be like, oh, he just battled Benzino, which Benzino, out of all the people that dissed him, has the best tracks at him, which is pretty funny. Benzino's best tracks, or so, yeah, Benzino's best records are at Eminem, and he by far had the best diss records towards Eminem. Ja, Ja just fucked up by mentioning Haley, so he wasn't really dissing Eminem as much. Like he said some bars and stuff, but he wasn't dissing Eminem. And when he did, look what happened. Look what happened. Look what happened. You ain't a killer, you a pussy. Revenge is like the sweetest joy. Not saying getting mixed up with the ecstasy, but the ecstasy line and shit. You know what I mean? Like, nah, man. Like, I ain't. I ain't here for that, man. Eminem's resume is way more battle tested and longer than what's his name, than Drizzy Drake and shit, Mr. Ghostwriter boy. Literally, that's the only way you really beat the boogeyman. And the crazy part about having that conversation about it too is like the nigga lost all his battles, dog. Like, how you gonna talk about somebody that has been more battle tested? He lost all his battles. He lost every battle. Joe Buttons, that's another one. He got destroyed by Joe Buttons, dog. Like his list, his opponent list is better, but it's better for one reason and one reason only. It's because those MCs that came at him don't respect him. They don't respect him. They do not respect him at all. So that's why they came at him. When you have respect, MCs ain't gonna come at you like that. That's got to play a factor for something.